Good evening, everyone. I'm Vidhi Beri, a health transformation coach. Today, I'm here in episode 7 of the HEAL series, Health, Energy, Awareness, and Learning. And today, we're bringing you a very special topic, something that has raised me. With the help of Dr. Shruti, who's here with us today. She's a global spiritual leader and a vibrational healer, also very intrinsically connected to heritage and reviving the Indian cultural roots. So she's here with us today to guide us on a journey to scientifically understand what vibrational healing means for all of us and how it's so relevant in the current times. Without further ado, thank you so much for being a part of this series. And
It's
today
fun
I
to
would
be here.
love for you to share your journey and how this really happened, how you came into vibrational and sound healing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me with you, Vidhi. Uh, I think the journey started ever since I was a child. I was brought up in a family which had chanting every day, which had the havan every day. So, chanting, the effects of chanting, the feeling good, the sense of well being. I think I've always had a sense of well being in my life, irrespective of different phases, only because I grew up from within with a sense of well being. But particularly, I found the effect of sound on the body in 1992 when I had a surgery. I had an ectopic surgery, and the day after the surgery, while I was having a shooting pain in the area of the surgery, I, for some reason, found myself chanting inward, half audibly, like a beam of sound. I found myself chanting to the area of the pain, and miraculously, the pain disappeared in 1.5 seconds. So that led me on a journey of self experimentation and discovery, leading to scientific experiments with the EEG, with the electroencephalograph, with the effect of Japa, which means repetition of mantra. And there were some startling revelations which led me further to, disseminate this great knowledge which we had in our heritage, the knowledge of mantra, the Vedic intonation, the science of bija mantras, which are there in our culture, right from Hatha Yoga to Sri Vidya to Shakti worship. I mean, science is embedded in our culture, often pushed into the field of religion, but it's embedded in every part of our culture. The science of mantra, the science of sound, the science of music, etc.
Yeah,
Yes.
great. So I'm also aware that you've done some amazing clinical trials and experiments, and in fact, cured episodes of epilepsy. You worked on asthma. You worked on external skin problems, everything that we usually go to a doctor for. So it is a one-stop shop solution with no side effects. Can you share with us your a little bit of your work experience in terms of the clinical work?
So in 1996, I believe it was the first time I actually tested the effect of mantra on the brain. So at 𝗏𝗵𝗫𝗄s in Delhi, uh, with the help of the neurologist who was there at that time, we went into an experiment kind of a trial where we took a few patients and we tested what happens to the brain when we repeat a chant. So we found that when a chant is repeated often enough, the brain uh, actually very quickly goes from the beta, the fastest brainwave state, into a meditative, quieter alpha state, which is a slower brainwave state. And after that, after quite a few chants, it goes into a theta state, which is also a state of trance. So some
Right.
people achieved a state of trance very quickly. Others who were more disturbed, more anxious, took longer to achieve it. But it was very clear that the speed of the brainwave changes with chanting. And that is what actually makes your nervous fluids withdraw from your nerve endings, and your healing substance goes goes inward rather than being wasted outward, and that is what creates, that is what facilitates healing. I can say that in my life I haven't had allopathic medicine for the last 32 years, and it is a proof of the impact of sound on my body, particularly the great science of Bija Mantras. It's a very, very special science which actually targets sound into different parts of the human body. Yes.
Wonderful. So the reason we wanted to speak about this today is because I think there's a huge wave of alternative medicine, and this is something that's internal. It's not Western, it's not alternative, it is absolutely within our body. It comes from the vibration of every human body, and I think all cultures have a vibrational science, especially the Indian culture, which is very, very innate. And it's very relevant now because we're looking at different fads in terms of health. We're looking at having herbs and all kinds of things that are doing the rounds. And this is something we don't have to buy. It's not something that you have to procure. It has no side effects on the body, and it absolutely has the power to cure any lifestyle or acute disease, illnesses otherwise. So can you give us a little bit of a understanding of the different healing systems within the Indian context, such as ragas, bij mantras, jap, all of these concepts?
So to begin, since we haven't touched upon rag itself is a very wide cultural field, and why I bring in the word heritage and culture again and again. What is special about Indian culture is every art is also a science. Every perfect Indian art, particularly Indian music, which is used in rag and mantra and all kinds of applications, they are all holistic and scientific and so well ordered in terms of their harmony with the human body. I like to use the word vibration because when we speak of sound or naad in the Indian context, it means all vibration. For instance, light is 40 octaves higher than sound, light waves. So if you say the note sa on C, you will be actually emitting infrared rays in your consciousness because infrared is 40 octaves higher than that particular frequency on the level of sound waves. So every layer of frequency, whether it is radio waves, sound waves, light waves, they are all connected to each other by octaves of frequency. So when we sing a rag is an ordering. It is a being by itself. It's a being with a particular DNA. So every rag has a law of nature. DNA is a law of nature according to which a being evolves. So when you sing a rag, which has a particular DNA, which means a law of ascent and descent, you are creating a particular atmospheric being. So you create that atmosphere within your consciousness and within the consciousness of your environment, people who are hearing you. So a particular rag can make you feel sense of morning, sense of evening, sense of being deeply alone in the dark, or something like that. We don't have enough time, otherwise I could have demonstrated a rag. I don't know if we can. Should I?
We can definitely go into some demonstrations as we go along.
Okay. So, yes, because you won't understand what I'm saying unless you hear it for yourself. Maybe I'll take half a minute to do it. Should I do that?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Fine. So I'm going to just put on perhaps okay, I'll do it without the Tanpura. So I'm going to sing just one rag for you and tell me what you feel. Do you feel a rising energy? Do you see colors? What kind of colors do you see? Some people are more visual, you'll see colors. Some people are more sensory, you'll feel a rising or a settling energy and so on. So let's see how you feel. Okay?
Wonderful. So I feel like I've been woken up after that.
What did you feel? Did you feel a sense of rising, falling?
I felt a sense of rising and waking up from sleep.
Okay, lovely, Vidhi. So that was indeed a rag of morning. It was rag Vibhas. So you could actually feel it just through sound. There were no words, there was no suggestion, no literature, just sound. The character, the DNA, the law of nature of the rag makes you change your atmosphere within. We are sitting here in the evening, late evening, but you can feel morning. And that is what itself is curative. It can change the atmosphere within. A person sitting in a cell can feel morning, night, or evening and change his consciousness and feel well.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. So,
Yeah.
I think when I work with so many clients, I find that sleeplessness, insomnia, restlessness, not able to sleep, fear going on in people's minds, thoughts, anxieties, that's a common issue. And that doesn't even let us heal anymore. Even though we're working with nutrition all the time, I'm struggling to help people get to their sleep and restfulness. And that's when I start using sound. And when we use sound, we find that it has many fold vibrational effects. So can you talk about how today we can offer solutions through this remedy to really get people to that restful state? What are the things that we can do?
So the first thing that anybody who's applying anything on themselves or on anybody else is to stop using anything, whether it is a medicine, whether it is sound, whether it is visualization. Don't use it like an agenda. Don't use it with anxiety. Approach everything in this world as play. There's a lovely quote which says, Sada Manda Hasam. Learn to play, learn to relax when you are taking in a remedy as well. So sound itself, the moment you hear light music, it makes you relax. So the first step is hear what you enjoy. The first word, even in the Upanishad, is Gunjitha, enjoy. Without enjoyment, you cannot cure yourself.
Right.
You're in the Leela, you're in the dance of life. You must learn to enjoy yourself, even while healing yourself. So
Absolutely.
enjoy sound. Even if you're breathing and chanting Om, make that Om feel like vibrations going right through your body as if you are having a beautiful bath of vibration. It's not something, oh, I must feel the light in my Agya Chakra and I must feel the intensity. There's no must. Get rid of the musts. Get rid of the, structured attitude to healing. Healing is like waves. Healing is the universe. So you must feel that flow, that dance of life within you when you're trying to heal yourself. And of course, there are very particular bija mantras which heal your different elemental states within your being. So, you have different elemental states, Prithvi, Apaha, Tejas, Vayu, and, Akasha, Vyom, etc. And you have particular bija mantras like Lang, Wang, and then of course the Shakti mantras, which is a different category altogether. So there are various sciences of visualization, sciences of sound, and combinations of these sciences of mudra. These are all in the realm of vibration. They all go in through your panchendriyas. So when we use certain sounds, we are able to affect certain parts of the human body. For instance, if you have a viral, the sound of hum is immediately curative. Instead of using a physical medicine, if you use a vibrational medicine like hum, it will cure your colds and coughs within a couple of days. You can just do it 3 or 4 times a day, a few times each, till you feel the heat in your throat. The moment you begin to feel the heat which you have created by your own sound, you will begin to eliminate the negative forces. Bacteria in your system are a culmination of negative balance in the body. It's a result of mandagni in your body. When the agni in your body becomes manda, when it becomes less active than it should be, that is where disease comes in. So when you create agni with sound, you are creating tejas, you are creating agni. Agni is a purifier. So sound creates fire, the right amount of fire, which can remove impurity, which can remove disharmony, dis-ease. The moment you come back to ease, The moment you become Sura from Asura, when you are out of harmony, you become Asura. Asura doesn't mean devil. It means out
That's
of
a
tune.
wonderful analogy.
So you come back to tune and you'll be fine. Okay?
That's lovely. So when you're talking about the tejas and the fire, we are even talking not only about disease in the body, we are also talking about our metabolism, and I think it even extends to a whole lot of people who are struggling with their digestive system, who are struggling with weight even perhaps. And sometimes when I speak of sound and vibration, they're like, how does that connect with my digestion? How does that connect with my weight? And I say, just like you said, flow with it and you will actually feel the difference in your body. What has your experience been in that?
See, to begin with, I will tell you that the basis of everything is breath. The basis of sound is also breath.
Yes.
The moment you bring yourself to ordered sound, you are also bringing yourself to ordered breath, because you cannot emit ordered sound unless your breathing becomes regulated. And conversely, when you start emitting ordered sound, like say the sound of Om or even an elongated any Bija mantra, it will automatically order your breath. The moment your breath becomes long and ordered and rhythmic and long, because every Bija mantra makes you breathe long, Om makes you breathe long. So the moment your breath becomes long, your body will become peaceful. Your muscles in between your chest and the lower part of your body, there's a psoas muscle, which causes all PSOAS, which causes all tensions in the body, all pain in the back. Most people can't lie straight on their back because they feel their back is arched. They have pain. Believe me, and this is my personal experience, just by breathing, just by chanting Om while you're lying down, just by concentrating on that part of the body which is out of ease, over barely a week or so, you will find that stiffness, that pain just going away with regulating your breath and taking the chant to that particular point of discomfort or stiffness or pain. Anywhere. It can be your spine, it can be an organ, it can be your brain, it can be your thoughts, any part on the physiological or the psychological or the mental. You have an electrical circuit. Everything is controlled by a pranic circuit. You can call it electromagnetic circuit, but it's all prana. And prana, the easiest access through our sensory being is sound to the electrical flow, because sound is also that which turns electromagnetic within our being.
Yes.
You take in sound through the ears, but it is passed on after your eardrum in the form of electrical impulses.
Yeah.
So everything is electrical in nature. Sound helps you to correct your electrical circuit, your pranic circuit, your 72,000 nadis inside the body. That's the power of sound. And it's instant. It's like
Yes.
lightning, instant. Yes.
So when we come to the science of Japa, which is age old, and many of us have seen family members, elder family members, sitting with a Jap mala, doing the chant 108 times, whether it's a simple Om or a mantra, and holding it within their fingers and turning the mala around. Can you shed a little light on what the significance of that really is, and how we can actually imbibe that modern day?
See, one, it brings the body and mind's attention to touch, vibration through touch. And that is why we often recommend Rudraksh, because Rudraksh, because of its rough surface, automatically creates some kind of acupressure,
Yeah.
between the first and the thumb, the first finger and the thumb, the Angushtha and the Tarjani. So when you do that, you're automatically arresting the mind, because these two, first finger and the thumb, arrest the higher part of your body. That's one. Secondly, when you want to chant a certain number of times, you become free of mental thought, because you are depending on touch, not on counting through the mind.
Yes.
When you come back to the thread, the knot, you've done it 108 times. So you have become free of mental calculation. You have become free of mind. You can go into trance doing that, because the hand, it all becomes autonomous. It's like driving a car and you turn the bend. After you've turned a bend about 20 times, the next time you turn the bend, you won't even know you've turned the bend. It becomes a part of your autonomous system. So similarly, when you chant like that, becoming free of mental calculation by using the japa helps your body to go into an autonomous mode, which helps you to get into a meditative state much faster, into a state of trance much faster. That's the power of it. Of course, if somebody is doing that and talking to somebody else while doing that, then it's not going to be achieved. But if somebody is completely with oneself, yes, you will achieve it.
And that's almost like an active form of meditation, active form of getting that feeling sleep state almost. So I would really request you at this time to make us experience some of this beauty in the Bij mantra or the chanting, whatever you choose, or a jab, to really give us an illustration of what this can feel like.
Okay, okay. So we can do either the science of the Vedic chant, or we can do the science of the Bija mantra, whatever you like. You choose.
Maybe we can go through some of the Bij mantras.
Okay, fine. So what is a bija? Bija is a seed. Bij means seed. What is a seed? A seed is a potential knot. It's a knot of potentiality, or it's a hub, inert, non-active hub of a creative potential. And every bija has its own nature. So if it gets the right inputs, if it gets nourishment, if it gets light, if it gets an 𝗏𝗕-Shakti, any vibration, whether it is sunlight, whether it is water, soil, this is all part of Agni. They're Agni in various forms. It is also called 𝗏𝗕-Shakti in a larger context, which I do in other talks. But the idea is, whenever you put some kind of force, will force, whether it is through sunlight, or it is through your own will, or it is through mental will, whenever you put a force on a bija, it manifests. It manifests into a being, into an energy, into an entity of energy, just like us, which creates changes, which creates transformations within us and outside us. A bija can be used to effect changes, transformations, even outside our body, on something or someone as well. But internally, we can use bija mantras to effect different parts of our being in a very ordered way. And the science of bija comes from also the science of the Sanskrit alphabet, which is very closely tied to our human anatomy. So if you notice, every line of the consonants, k, k, g, gh, they are all gutturals.
Yes.
P, p, b, bh are all labials. So every line of the consonants is connected to different parts of our vocal anatomy, because every percussion resonates in a different part of the human body. So that becomes the first beginning of a bija. P or L. So L, A, N, bindu. Lung. R, A, N, rung. Now R, it's like the roaring fire. So rung is the bija of the Manipura chakra. That's your tejas, your fire elemental state in the human body. So if you were to chant ram, you will be harmonizing the fire elemental state in your body. You will be harmonizing the the pulls and pushes, the competitive spirit, the anger in yourself, all kinds of things that happen due to imbalanced fire element in the body, your digestive system, etc., and so on. So this is just an example of how a bija is constituted. Of course, you can have shra, e, shri, these are Shakti bijas. So there's a whole ocean of bija mantras. It's an ocean of study by itself. But some of the simplest and the most powerful ways of healing the body. Not only healing the body, healing your entire consciousness. I've been using it for the last 30 years. Yes.
So the reason I chose the Bija mantras is also because it's relevant in my study and practice through you as my teacher, in imbibing that as a flowing form of medicine. Like you say, we see people having structured in a structured way, doing a diet or popping a pill for a certain thing. And when you imbibe all of this within yourself, and you're like, okay, my throat feels sore, and I'm just going to sit down and start chanting that. And a lot of people say, what do you mean? That's so whimsical. How can that even work for you? But there's a huge biology of belief. There's a huge biology of learning, imbibing, and actually seeing how it manifests in you. And I absolutely want to share that, like you said, in the last 30 years, I haven't had any form of allopathic, homeopathic, Ayurvedic, any kind of medicine, even though I practice on myself. I simply practice this as curative, as flowing, as all parts of my body healing. And many times I have to share recently, when I'm actually imparting this, I can feel going from a beta to alpha to theta state and almost into a trance while in a session. So it does become a huge part of your body and your nervous system, your autonomous system, your subconscious mind. And once you start believing in it, it just simply translates as inner medicine. The vibration of your voice, the vibration of your body.
It is not something. First of all, the word alternative itself is a very, very. It's an offense on Indian culture when we call any of these systems alternative. It's an offense. It's an imitation of the Western narrative. It's age old. It is tested. There is first-person empiricism on the effects of these for thousands of years. We don't need Western science to prove it to us. We are living examples of people who are well, not only well in body, but also well in mind and heart, despite any kinds of circumstances in our lives. Because, our gurus told us, Sada Manda Hasam, always be in a light smile, no matter what. Smile. Remember, smile is the greatest vibration. And singing, even if you're out of tune, please sing. Please don't take life so seriously. It's not worth it. So start singing, start chanting, stop using your mind so much, stop questioning so much. Try it, get into it, wet your toes in the ocean of experience. Why question? When you question, and this is to the audience, when you question, it means you're scared to try something. So you are creating this big persona about yourself. Oh, this sounds like so stupid. Why should I try something which sounds so stupid? That's because you're actually somewhere in your subconscious not only willing to get out of your mental comfort zone and try something which is there for you with open arms. So get out of your comfort zone and get into something that's even more comfortable.
That's a wonderful way of getting people to move out of that and accept new things and accept something that's not new. Like you said, it's age old and empirically proven. And I think today you and I are living examples of how vibration is within your body, and you can absolutely effectively heal yourself at all times and have a multiplying effect on everyone who comes in touch with you.
Also, what I want to say here very quickly is maybe a lot of people who are hearing us today are mothers themselves. Remember, you are an example for your children. If you want to heal your children, first of all, you have to drop all anxiety and tension yourself. You have to learn to flow yourself. Only then your children will flow. So first, drop anxiety and tension. Learn to be easy. Learn to dance. Learn to sing. Learn to chant. And when your children see that, you don't have to teach them anything. They learn it by contagion, just like Vidhi did. I don't think she ever learned from me while she was growing up consciously. She just absorbed it, So that's my advice. Be what you want your children to be. Make them free of having to pop a pill by taking that step yourself.
So now that you can all see the resemblance, and Dr. Shruti as my teacher, as my mother, who has taught me by contagion, and I don't even have to think of popping anything inside me now because it's a part of my biology, it's a part of my mind. And, like we say, we carry on these traditions that's a part of our culture. And my two children see that any distress anywhere and just it comes flowing out the sound, and they're like, oh, again this. And I used to say this to her as a child, that why can't I be like a normal child, and why can't I just pop a pill or go to the doctor? And she's like, this is going to work, and just bear with me. And sometimes it's funny how history repeats itself. But on a personal note, you can see both of us, and you can see that I'm of a certain age, and this is my mother here, and she doesn't look that she could be that much older than I am, and it's purely because of the effect of sound and that vibration constantly healing us, being a connection between us, and keeping us young, smiling, happy, and easygoing. So
Yes.
thank you for doing that, imparting that knowledge through your life experiences. And thank you for imparting that knowledge to my viewers today and being on the show with me. Thank you so much for
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
vibrating and inspiring all of us.
Keep smiling.
Thank you so much. Good night to everyone, and thank you for being a part of this experience today.